Maddie, hello. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Good. It's really nice to see you and chat with you because, everybody knows Maddie from Tequila J Bear and now the Tequila Report. But, I've never really had a long opportunity to chat with you, outside of just like the day-to-day work stuff. And I'm looking forward to hosting you for our Women in Tequila series for March of this year. And thank you for agreeing to do this with us.
Oh my gosh, thank you for asking me. I know I'm missing my talkative counterpart, so I'm going to do my best today. But Jay is definitely he's a keynote, he's a keynote speaker, so it's literally his job.
Yeah.
Um,
But I
but
bet he's
I,
happy you're doing this, isn't he?
oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, 100%. Because, Jay is a talker, but, if it's okay that I mention this, you mentioned that being on camera is not your favorite thing.
It is not.
The rest of the world would never know that because you seem like such a natural. So it's incredible that
Well,
you
thank
work so
you.
hard at this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Jay makes it easy. And I'm sure you do too. You're
Yeah,
easy to
we'll
talk to.
see. We'll see how you feel at the end of this, but hopefully you still feel that way. I'm just kidding.
I love it.
So, Maddie, like, the world sees you as like a tequila reviewer and now behind the tequila report, but like, let's talk about how you got into this world of tequila because I think a lot of people don't know that. What's the story behind you being here today?
Yeah. So obviously didn't go to school to become a tequila influencer or, tequila at all. I went to school for marketing and I actually interned for Jay's company at the time when I was a senior. And then when I was graduating, it was like COVID times. Everything was weird. Nobody knew what was going on with work. And Jay actually also had a transition during that time. He sold his company that I was interning for and went from having like 20 employees to having none. And he was like, well, this isn't going to work. So he asked me if I would join him and help him with all things speaking. So I did that for about a year. And then he's always had a passion for tequila. He grew up in Arizona and always like went across the border, tried tequila with all of his friends. And so he just took his passion and decided to share it with others. And he asked if I would be in one video with him, which obviously turned into more. I very reluctantly said yes, because as you mentioned before, video is not my thing. Um, but yeah, it turned into a big thing. And then not long after, I was in Mexico with him, I think like 6 times that year, which is kind of crazy now looking back.
And were you a tequila drinker before this?
Like a college tequila drinker, if that makes sense. So, I'd go to the bar and get probably Jose Cuervo or Don Julio or whatever they had it at Kilroy's. And my favorite tequila has and probably always will be a margarita. So I had that going for me. But if you go back and look at like the early videos of BNJ, I very obviously was not educated at all because my facial expressions were not great. So yeah, I've learned a lot, but I've always enjoyed it. Probably more than my friends, honestly, but I didn't know anything about the tequila world before I started being on videos with Jay. Honestly, the audience grew with me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know any college student that's a tequila aficionado, even
Yeah,
these
right.
days. I mean, we all got the cheap shit, and it was, like quite literally, like whatever came in your margarita, you drank it. So,
Exactly.
uh, so how does it feel for you now, sipping on tequilas? And I know not all tequilas are sippable, that I understand, but, how do you feel now?
A lot better and a lot more educated. I definitely can taste the differences. I smell, at the beginning, I was like, smells like tequila, tastes like tequila. And Jay and I created this chart that helps you identify smells and tastes and stuff. And so I really practiced using that. And it was a super helpful tool. And so, and obviously, like Jay and I have tasted hundreds and hundreds now. So you refine your palate. It's just like studying for a test. Like you just keep studying the tequilas and you get better at it. I will say I sip tequila sometimes, but I mostly if it's an aged expression, normally I'll sip it a little bit more, and then the lighter expressions I tend to do like a ranch water, so I can
Mhm.
still taste the tequila, but I'm not usually like every day just sipping
Yeah,
tequila.
totally, 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 totally. And I do love a good ranch water too because it's not sweet, but I feel like lime gives so much sweetness when it's mixed with the right tequila. You still get the
Exactly.
sweeter feel. Okay, so everybody knows you as Tequila Maddie, Maddie Tequila Report, J Bear, blah blah blah. But like, what's the actual Maddie like the day to day, like Maddie on the streets? Who is that?
Maddie on the streets. I would say I love cooking and baking. I have a golden retriever that I'm like obsessed with. So I'm constantly walking her. I have a couple of friends that also work from home. So we go every morning before work on like a little coffee walk. So that's kind of how I get my socialization in for the day, besides just talking to people on Zoom. And then I watch a lot of reality TV, which is probably not great for me. But I'm also a super social person. My husband and I are definitely like the hosting friends, so we have friends over all the time. I love hosting my friends. I love bringing different friend groups together and making new friends.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Okay, between baking and cooking, what do you prefer?
Probably baking. I mean, I cook more because I do, every night for dinner, but I definitely prefer baking. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like creating my own recipes. Like I like to follow a cookbook, but I love a sweet treat, and my friends would agree. Like they love my baking skills.
God, I'm glad I don't live in Indiana because anytime I'm close to a friend that bakes, it's just dangerous. It's just dangerous.
What's dangerous?
Love sugar. I love sugar so much. And do you think part of why you like baking is because it's more precise, whereas cooking you can just kind of like do whatever?
Probably. And I love a sweet treat.
Yeah.
Like it's so,
Yeah.
and I have a little bit more control than my husband. Like I have, I kind of have to give away things that I make, or he will eat them all. And he's like, my stomach hurts. And I'm like, okay, you could just eat one. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God. I mean, we'll get back to tequila stuff, but I'm curious, how did you and your husband meet?
We actually both grew up in Bloomington, which is where Jay lives now. I guess I forgot to include that part of my story. I met Jay because my brother, my younger brother, played hockey with Jay's son, and my parents knew Jay, so we all connected in Bloomington. But my husband, Johnny, and we are also both from Bloomington. We actually went to rival high schools. Didn't date in high school or anything, but then we both went to Indiana University and started dating there and got married pretty soon after college. We were like the first wedding right out of COVID. So it was like a big grand affair because everybody was ready to get back to it.
Worlds again. I love that so much. I love that you
Yeah.
went to rival high schools and then found each other in the
Yes.
at university level. Oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome. Well, thanks, Maddie, for giving us a little insight into the day in the life of. And I love that you and your girlfriends get together to walk dogs in the morning. That's like
Yeah.
I'm like my FOMO around that. I travel so much, so like I cannot have a dog, but I one
They're
day,
the
one day,
best.
one day. Or you know, we'll see. My whole team's like, we'll take care of it while you're gone. I'm like, well, what's the point in having a dog if you're
I
just
know.
over to the nannies all the time? So
They're the best, but like, I mean, we're kind of in wedding season. I'm just of the age that all my friends are getting married.
yes,
And so
yes.
we are traveling a lot for that. And it's hard. You got to find a sitter every time. It's like, geez, I didn't realize I was signing on for like a kid. It's just a dog, but
Literally,
you
literally.
know,
Yeah, but Goldens are so cute too.
yeah, they're the best.
All right, so let's chat about the Tequila Report. You are a co-founder with Jay, correct?
I am, yes.
Amazing. So, if at this stage in your life and your career, did you ever see yourself as an entrepreneur at this point, or even ever? And how does it feel to be part of a company that you co-founded?
Yeah. So I'll say yes and no in seeing myself in this role. I've always been kind of a go-getter. Like I had a job probably at age, I don't know, before it was like legal for me, it was probably
Yeah.
12. Like I helped at our family friend soccer camps. And then um, the wife of that opened up a workout studio and I worked there. And when I worked there, I started drawing on chalkboards. Like I'm pretty artistic. So I started drawing on chalkboards and windows and stuff. And then I kind of became like the window and chalkboard artist of Bloomington. So I like started a little small business doing that in college, which was, I guess, high school and college, which was fun. So I've always had like a little bit of that in me. But Jay is definitely the like bigger picture. I mean, he's created like 6 or 7 companies. So I'm not shocked that it happened because that's like totally his thing. But did I ever see myself like being brought along in that role? Not necessarily. I think that as we work with a lot of tequila brands, obviously, and we kind of were noticing that there's a lot of short form videos and not a lot of like long form storytelling. So it kind of, honestly, it was just like something that was missing in the market that we figured we might as well create. So yeah, I'm super grateful for Jay for bringing me along for the ride.
Yeah, well, Jay doesn't strike me as someone who would bring someone along for the ride just because he was being nice. He strikes me as somebody who's pretty discerning about who he works with. And so that speaks volumes about you too, you know?
Well,
So
thank you.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we as women are really good at like crediting other people. So it is, and not that we're not giving credit to Jay, but like Jay knows, right? Like Jay's like, no, I
Yeah.
got it. And you know, it is, I think about all the people in my career that really helped shape me and brought me along. And at the time, like often I'd be like, oh gosh, do they just like feel sorry for me? Or, you know, and
Yeah.
so many people are like, you think the CFO of Disney is shepherding you because he feels sorry for you? Do you think it's
Yeah.
that kind of time? And I'm like, right. And now as the owner and founder of 2 companies now, I understand like when you find talent, it is you don't let it go. When you find talent and thoughtfulness, I mean, there's so many variables of what makes a great colleague. And so, and Maddie, like the one interaction we had when we were talking about the Tequila report, I thought about it afterwards. I was like, I totally understand why Jay has, you know, really, really brought her along in everything because you're an asset to have.
Well, thank you. That's so sweet.
Yes, the chalkboard girl. That's like my
The
favorite thing.
chalkboard girl. Yep. I did that for years for some extra cash for that $1
Oh,
tequila
yeah,
at the bar.
100%. And I feel like my handwriting is horrific. It's horrific. And Jeremy on my team has beautiful handwriting. And in fact, on our high proof, where it says high proof, oh my, which reminds me, I forgot to send you guys a bottle. We will send you a bottle. I'm so sorry.
No
Uh,
worries.
but like he hand wrote it. So there's something really magical about people like,
Cool.
yeah, who have beautiful handwriting. Because do you do some of the design behind the Tequila Report too?
I do the graphic design. Yeah. Yeah. So I do all of the I mean, it's like really, it's me and Jay. I mean, we're the whole team. And then we have an intern, Lexi, and another one, Megan, they're both awesome. They're both college students at IU. But yeah, really, I mean, day to day, it's me and Jay. So he does a lot of writing, which I don't love to do. And I do graphic design, which he doesn't love to do. So it works out great.
I mean, it's beautiful. It's
Thank you.
yeah, it's very aesthetically pleasing when I go to the website or even your newsletters and things like that. It's easy to read, it's digestible. So I didn't realize that was all you behind that. That's amazing.
Good. Well, that's the goal.
Yeah. Yeah, now we're going to expose the world. They're going to know that Maddie Jager is responsible for the gorgeous design behind the Tequila Report. And it does not surprise me that Jay does all the writing.
Oh, yeah. He's done that. I mean, he's written in his past companies. I think he published like thousands of blogs. So he's always been a great writer before AI, before
Yep.
it became a little easier.
Yeah.
So he's really great at that. Like that would take me hours and hours.
Oh, same. One of my
Yeah.
colleagues loves to write, and she wrote me an email, and I read it, and I was like, God. I was like, did you use AI for this? She's like, what? You know how I feel about AI. She's like, the only thing that I use is Grammarly to make sure all my punctuation's correct. But it was so crazy because she was a paralegal, and writing is her passion, and I feel like either you
Yeah.
have it or you don't. And
Yes.
I mean, Jay is prolific, clearly, and you are a natural artist and a creator, which is amazing. So it's a great
Yeah.
balance. There's no
Yeah.
fighting,
It,
right?
it blends really well.
Yeah, Yeah, no arguing over who gets to do what, which is
No.
ideal. So speaking of creating, tell me about your tequila, because I don't know if it's a single barrel or what it is, but when our team was doing research on you, they discovered it, and I was like, I didn't even know that. So tell
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, so Jay and I do a lot of single barrel or special batch projects with brands. This one actually came about when we were visiting in Mexico. We were at the El Viejito distillery. Have you been there?
I have it. Where is it? Highlands,
Oh,
Lowlands?
it's uh
Is it in the valley or is it
the,
like?
I they all mix together
That's
for me
okay.
at this
That's
point.
okay.
I'm trying to think where it's at. Highlands, I think.
Like Arandas
Yes.
there. Okay.
Um, I believe so. I'm like trying to think of who came with me on that trip and where,
It
because I
all
think
starts
my
to blend
husband
together.
went there,
It
so I
really
think it's
works.
Highlands.
Really
Um,
works. Well,
but
Adam
yeah,
knows
I
about
I
it.
should know I should know that. Anyway, we were there. It's beautiful. It's one of our favorite distilleries because you go and they just, I mean, all distilleries treat you like family, but they actually have the family there. They're talking to you, they're cooking for you, you're sharing a meal together, which always just makes it a really special experience. We were tasting tequilas, obviously, and it started just like downpouring rain, and we're just all sitting there drinking, laughing, having a great time, trying all these different samples for projects that they're working on. And we tried this one that me and Jay both absolutely loved, and we were with Sean Miller, who is an owner of Packaged Group, who also has a piece in El Viejito. And we were like, okay, we really like this. And Jay was like, we should make this a Maddie tequila. And I was like, what do you mean? Because again, I'm like, what? Apprehensive. Not me. Who? Nobody cares. Like, um, but Sean was like, 1000% we should do that. So it was a bit overproofed. It's 41%, just to make it a little interesting. It's aged for 4 years instead of, the minimum 3 for an extra añejo. It's aged in French and American oak barrels. And then something that was really important to me, obviously, was a good quality, delicious tequila, but also the price because, I'm a young professional.
Hmm.
I might not be going to get $1 shots at the bar, but I'm also not going to spend 50 on tequila at the bar. So it was really important to me that it was priced well. And it's priced at like $70, which is just crazy for a 4 year extra añejo. So that was something that was really important to me, and Sean and everybody worked with us on that. So it was a really fun project. I think my mom bought like, I don't even know, 50 something bottles and like handed it out to all of our family at Christmas. Jay bought like extra rolls of the stickers of just my face and he like shipped it to my best friend. And I was like, oh my goodness, please don't do that. She's going to like put them all over mailboxes. But it was a really fun project.
Love that so much, but I mean, I would imagine your parents were probably super proud too. Like, what would
Yeah.
your chances be, right? At this stage in your life and career, that you would have your own tequila that you could call your own. I love that. I also love the extra roll of stickers.
Yes. Yeah. I had them in my house, and Jay was like, we're ordering extra and giving them to Ellie. I was like, okay, fun. But yeah, but my now after that, both of my parents, my husband, and actually our most recent trip, my brother and my grandfather all got to go to El Viejito and see it, and see I have a barrel there now, which is super cool. So like I have another brother and sister who haven't seen it, but most of my family has all been and experienced it, and it's just something really special that I never thought I would be able to do.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And I'm sure when you're down there, people love having you guys down there too.
It's it is so rewarding. Like again, just me being who I am, I'm like me, like how does anybody know me? Because I'm just making video. Like we were making videos for in front of a camera, which is so different than what Jay does, like going and giving speeches and you see people face to face all the time. So when we go to Mexico and everybody knows who we are, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Um, but yeah, when we went with my parents, they were like, are you Maddie's mom? And like they gave her a special flower. And I was like, this is so crazy. But it is super rewarding to that people there that have been making tequila for generations even know my name is absolutely crazy to me. Um, and I'm just so grateful.
You know, Maddie, when you put good things out into the world, good things come back. And, you know, being kind and thoughtful and grateful is, you know, it is one of the most important virtues, I think, of anybody. And that's how, to me, that's how, you know, we see collective impact and how the world just starts to come together in a different way. And also, like, from, you know, the US to Mexico and just like that blend of cross-border relations of people like that are so thrilled because you and Jay have given them an opportunity to have a bigger voice and a bigger platform and things like that, right? So it's like it's mutually
Yeah.
symbiotic. And that's what's
Yes.
beautiful. That's what's amazing. Oh, I love that. I really want to meet your mom now.
She's the best.
That
She
sounds
is the best.
awesome. And actually, speaking of moms and women, I'm imagining you've met a lot of different women in the industry since you've started this. Are there any women in particular that have just really left an impression on you since you've started this and sort of inspired you too?
Yeah, I will say I have been honored to have been to Mexico several times, and I've seen several master distillers there doing their work, which is super cool. So I've seen Ileana and Anna Maria and Melly, and I'm sure I'm missing some others, but I've seen them all in their element doing their work, which was really super, super cool to see. And then I've also we work with a lot of brands, as I said. So I work with a lot of great women every day. Paige from Authentico and Sarah from La Polga and you, and just like all sorts of awesome female founders and entrepreneurs. And then I'm sure a lot of people know this, but in most of the bottling lines too, in Mexico, it's all women, which I think is really cool. It's like a job that they save just for the women. So that's always something that's really cool and touching to see in the industry, I think.
Yeah, 100%. You named a lot of great women. And yeah, because the bottling, you know, so many of them are still done by hand, like ours, right? Everything's still completely done by hand in terms of label and bottling and the meticulousness without any technology, right? Like they're literally like they have like a wood stand that and it's so impressive. And I think women you know, we are yes, it's interesting to watch like how women and especially in the tequila industry and agave spirits who have been behind agave spirits for centuries and are finally starting to have a little more prominence in the industry. It's fantastic. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. It's exciting. And you know, I feel like people like you who are here in the States that have the opportunity to uplift other women too, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And yeah, I feel like I got into this industry in a really interesting time as a female founder. And
Yeah.
I get to work with like some of the coolest women. And
It's really cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's awesome. And what I love too is that everyone is super supportive of one another. And that's what's so cool because, you know, there's 8 billion people in this world and there's enough palates to satisfy for multiple tequila brands. And when we get to work with other brands that feel the same way, it's like a lot more powerful, in my opinion. It's a lot more
Yeah.
powerful and
No,
interesting.
I completely agree. And just in this field, it's very male dominated for years. There's generations and generations of males, and it's really cool. Jenny Camarena, like her being, a female master distiller when it's always been a male at that facility. Like it's really cool to see, and how it's evolving.
Absolutely. And, you know, so much of it also requires male allyship, too. You know, we
Yeah,
also need the men to be supportive of this because I think Jay is a good example. You know, when men understand the power of collaboration between both genders, you know, it is like it's really cool. It's really, really
hmm,
cool. And so it's fun. Like Renee, our master distiller at 1599, and Herman, who is their head of operations, like they have been my biggest fan since day one.
yeah,
And, you know, like not even questioning that I was a female, you not even questioning it, you know, and more support like that. And, you know, when people realize we're not a threat, we're actually, you know, we're actually here to help. You
yeah.
know? like quite literally, that is in our DNA is to be.
Yep.
So, no, that's awesome. And you know what I've noticed too is that women are becoming the fastest growing category in spirit consumption, which I thought was really fascinating. Have you guys noticed that in the work that you do? And then are there brands like tequila brands out there that you think are marketing to women specifically and doing it right, or that are good examples of how to reach out to a female forward audience?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because obviously the market's just shifting a lot in general right now. You know, spirits in general are down a little bit, tequila is down, but craft tequila is up, which is awesome. So I think it's a lot less marketing towards like the shots, macho man, like all
Yeah,
of that, and
yeah,
it's more so marketing like, hey, this is a healthy choice and this is how it's crafted and this is how it's made, and that's something that a lot of women I think are super interested in. So I do think that we're starting to market towards women a little bit more. um, Mara from Inspiro does marketing to women really well. Like they have their bottle is made for women's hand and they constantly do women's events and stuff like that. So I think they're really trying to bring women into this category, which is awesome. But I think in general, like a lot of brands are kind of trying to tilt their marketing just a little bit, and it's not necessarily just towards women, but just hey, this is a really healthy, um, great, delicious, well-made option, especially in the craft tequila space.
yeah, yeah, totally. Those statistics, I can't tell you. I think when you guys came out with that report, and thank you for mentioning non 1599, I was like, we made it. It's really hopeful, not just for the tequila industry, but I genuinely believe there's a deep desire for us to get back to just some basic stuff again, and in products and in life, and because with the world of AI, this is so important still. And so the fact that the craft tequila that has a story behind it is because it's great and a great indicator for what the rest of the world could possibly look like too outside of tequila. Now,
Yeah, absolutely.
because you guys are so public facing, you have a media platform, I would imagine you often get approached to work with you, correct?
Yes, yes, we do. Um, I will say Jay's number one rule, which I think I can say on this, his number one rule is no assholes. So like we're only going to work with people that we really enjoy and people whose juice we really believe in. So we're approached every day by brands that want to work with us, and we've said since the beginning we're really lucky that we can say no. So we only say yes to brands that we truly truly believe in and want to work with, because all you have is trust, and once that trust between you and the consumer has been, and even other clients has been broken, like you can't really get that back. So we are very very particular with who we work with, and we also use data and use real points when we tell our stories, and we choose to tell stories that we think really need to be heard and aren't already overshared in the marketplace or media by larger companies necessarily.
No, absolutely. Have you guys ever been put in a position where you've had to, I mean, you said you have to say no all the time, which I totally understand. But like, have you been put in a position where you've had to like say goodbye to certain clients, or, just it just didn't work out?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple of instances where we'd meet with people and Jay and I kind of just like we're kind of on the same wavelength. Like we'll have a meeting and kind of talk to people and be like, do we want to pitch them or do we not think they'd be a great fit? Um, we've really hardly had any instances where, like maybe one or two, where we started to work with somebody and it just didn't work very well, because I think we really have a good read on people, to be honest. And Jay always says he's like that's one of my talents. Like I've done it for a lot of years and I can tell who I'm going to work well with, and so we're really lucky in that sense because neither one of us are very good at rejection. so I don't think we wouldn't handle it super well.
God, I feel that all too well. Um, yeah, it's funny because life is short, right? And so if you're going to be spending a lot of hours working, I know personally, I have a no assholes policy too. Like I want to work with people that, provide, we fuel each other,
Yeah,
where we
exactly.
sort of like energetically, and I also think that's what leads to successful businesses too. And why this has gone so well for you and James Jay, because you very much energetically, from what I've noticed with you two, is you just are very similar that way, in terms of how you walk through this world, which is amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
And I still love that it was the hockey, your brother's hockey team. Like that is like my
Yeah.
favorite thing ever. That's amazing. That is
Yeah,
amazing.
that's how we met. My parents and Jay and his wife Allison probably like getting together for drinks after hockey games. And my mom was like, "Hey, Maddie's in marketing. You want to give her an internship?"
Hey man, nothing wrong with that, right?
It
I mean,
worked.
yes, yes, 100%. My job at Disney came through, I mean, it was a long process, but it was through my sister's dentist, and his wife was,
Wow.
yeah, his wife was the head of corporate sustainability at Disney. Yeah, so it just, you never know, right? Like you just never know where our paths will cross. And of course you have to prove yourself. And that's what I always tell people. If you're given an opportunity, like you don't want to squash it away, because
For sure.
it's, if I feel lucky every time an opportunity presents itself, I'm like, okay, either I want it or I don't. And if I really want it, I'm going to work 100% harder than I normally would, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah, you have to make the most of it and prove yourself. You can't
yes,
just it's not
no,
just going to be given. Yeah.
no, no. That's what I tell young people all the time. I'm like, you got to hustle. I mean, it is,
Mhm.
I don't like the word hustle because hustle culture and blah, 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 blah. But I mean, it is, but you really you have to put the work in. And the one thing I always tell people, I'm like, you can't be above anything. I mean, the shit that I still do is like stuff I would have done 20 years ago, and it's fine. Whatever it takes to get the job done.
Yep.
So now, because you guys are how far along into the tequila report?
We launched in January, so really not very, like 3 months. Not even a full
Oh my
wait.
God.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
it
we
just
launched in
January?
January. Mhm.
Oh my God. That's amazing. And
Yeah.
how's the feedback been so far?
It's been really great. It's been great. We've had a lot of brands and consumers both say that they found a lot of insight and value in it. It's it's been super rewarding. I mean, Jay and I always get DMs from videos prior and whatnot, from people saying they just love learning about all of these stories, and that's what we're doing now is really diving deeper into those stories, and I think hopefully telling them even better than we could have prior. But yeah, no, it's been great, and we also have an insiders program that is, a paid membership part of it, and
I'm a
it's
member.
you are a member.
Yeah.
We love it. I was gonna say it's really reasonably priced. You get all these discounts on merch and events and bottles and everything. And then we do live Zooms every month with master distillers and brand owners and stuff like that. So we just had our third one this past week with Sean from Packaged. And we had a bunch of people message us like, hey, this has been awesome. Like, I just really love learning from the owners themselves because it's just something you don't always have an opportunity to do unless you're in a position like us where you've been blessed and you get to go to Mexico and hear all of this firsthand. So it's really cool to have the chance to ask those questions directly to the brand owners or master distillers.
Yeah, absolutely. And God, I can't believe it's only been since January. Okay, that's wild. That's,
I can't either, but we started pitching people in like maybe October. So it feels so much longer
I,
than that. But that was like every day I felt like I was on calls for months. I was exhausted. And as somebody who's not on video, I was like, I
yeah.
need to sleep.
Would you
I
say
need a nap.
yourself more of an introvert or an extrovert?
That's really hard because I feel like in my social life, like at home with my friends, I'm kind of an extrovert, but that's with people I know really well.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. Like my husband thinks I'm a little quiet, like at events. If I was at his work event and I don't know anybody, I'm not like the one to go out and meet a bunch
You're
of
not like
people.
trying
But
to go and like build new friendships.
yes, but if somebody's introduced to me, I will talk to them for an hour. Like I don't
Totally.
know. So I
You're
don't know.
probably like
I'm in
a bit
between.
of both. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like a 50-50, so I super
Yeah.
get it. Well, now that you guys are almost 3 months in, what is the big vision? What is like, what are you most excited about?
Gosh, lots of things, honestly. I mean, I think we're really excited to continue to tell brands stories, especially smaller brands that just don't have their own platform that's that large to tell it themselves. That is really, really cool to be able to tell those stories on a larger platform and really dig deeper. And I think that's just what we want to continue to do and continue to bring our consumers new things that they didn't ever know about, but also we're really trying to marry like maybe not a college student, but like 25-year-old person who knows about tequila, but just knows the difference between a Blanco and a Reposado and a tequila expert. We're trying to like marry those two and bring content that both of them really find valuable, which is a challenge, but that's the goal.
It is, but I feel like you guys are not really ones to not be up for a challenge. So
No, exactly.
it fits the
Bring it on.
DNA. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As women are becoming more curious about getting involved in the industry, because it's Women's Month, that's what I'm going to focus on this as sort of our last question. Is one of your friends from Indiana University came up to you and was like, Maddie, listen, I've been watching your journey. This is really exciting. I want to get involved in the industry. How would I get involved? Like what would you tell somebody?
Yeah. Well, I'd say you definitely don't have to have it all figured out just from the start because I mean, I literally was like, tastes like tequila. Yum. Or actually not yum. If you see my face in the beginning, I'm like, "Eh." So definitely do not have to have it all figured out. And the industry can feel super intimidating, especially for women, but there's so much room for women who are, curious and genuine. And I'd say just do your homework, ask a million questions, keep tasting, um, improve your palate, and then just honestly be willing to admit when you don't know things yet. Say, I'm not super knowledgeable on that, but I'd love to learn. Can you teach me? Again, I had no idea what I was doing when I started, but if you have the right people around you, you'll be okay. There's so many awesome women in tequila on the production side, brand side, media side who are super open and supportive, as you said, and they'll help guide you along the way.
Oh God, that's great. That is great advice. Great advice. Listening, right? Listening is like one of the most important things, and asking and being curious. That is definitely when I started this journey. My God. I mean, I'm sick of learning. Like I could really like use a day without learning at
Yeah.
this point, but
Yeah.
it's so important. And Maddie, like, is there anything you want to leave with our audience before we wrap this up? Any last thoughts that we didn't touch on?
I would just say, keep chasing your dreams. You never know what's going to happen. I thought I'd be in marketing, and here I am in tequila. And
Doing marketing still.
doing marketing in tequila.
Hmm.
So follow your passions. I want to say thank you so much for having me and tell everybody to subscribe at tequilareport.com/subscribe for some great in-depth info on all of these awesome tequila brands.
Maddie Jager from the Tequila Report. Thank you so much. It has been an absolute joy getting to know you, and I hope we get to meet each other in person one of these days soon.
I know. Hopefully.
Right. Well, thank you, and I'm wishing you an excellent weekend. And do you have any more of your El Viejo left? Viejito
I
left?
do. I do. I have a couple bottles here, and I know Jay has a few at his house too. So, and then they're also like, they brought them in stores in Indiana. So they're, every time I go to Bloomington and Big Red, I see my face on the shelf. So there's still some there if anybody needs any.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Maddie. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.